Howdy, this is Lemmy with RevZilla, here to talk to you today about Vance and Hines slip-on exhaust for Metro Cruiser. You should be checking out a set of Vance and Hines slip-on mufflers for your Metro Cruiser if you're looking to give your bike a little bit of help in the looks department as well as the sound department. Now, these are currently being made by Vance and Hines for a huge array of Metro Cruisers, and most of the exhausts you're seeing up here are highly application specific. So I'm going to encourage you to use our bike finder, input your bike information. We're going to show you all the stuff that Vance and Hines makes that's going to fit your cruiser. Installation on these, I'm going to say pretty solidly across the board for most of you, should be a 1 bearder on our BSD, or beard scale of difficulty. Basic hand tools and a good attitude should get you through this job very quickly, and you'll be listening to the sweet, sweet music that your new muffler is going to play for you. Let's get right into things. So kicking things off, Metro Cruisers are kind of their own special breed when it comes to modifying them just a little bit. Unlike some other bikes that can need a whole lot of help in order to make them perform better, a lot of Metro Cruisers are set up performing pretty nicely from the factory. So a lot of the time the performance boost isn't necessary, but you do want your bike to sound a little bit better, and of course we all want our bikes to look slamming as well. This is where Vance and Hines slip-on exhaust come in. I think for a lot of Metro Cruisers, a slip-on exhaust actually makes the most sense. It's not quite so hard in the wallet as a full system exhaust. Secondly, most of you aren't going to need, again, that necessary huge performance boost, and especially for those of you guys on the smaller bore cruisers too, you may not really get much out of a large exhaust in there. It's going to represent a big chunk of money that you could be spending on something else, and in some cases it may not make sense relative to whatever bike it is that you're actually riding around on. So for a lot of folks, I think that a slip-on exhaust really is the way to go. Vance and Hines offers some beauties, as you can see up here. So I want to walk through you with a couple of the styles that you can see here. You can know that all of these are going to make your bike sound a lot meaner. It's really kind of crazy how loud some Metro Cruisers can get when you uncork them and really give off a very throaty, tone-filled howl relative to sort of that sewing machine sound that comes stock with a lot of Metro Cruisers. So let's walk through some of this stuff. We'll show you what's available, what might be out there for your motorcycle, sort of get your juices flowing on what you might find for your cruiser. First up, you can see here we have a set of monster slip-ons developed exclusively for the Honda Goldwing. You're going to see these, I think, on a lot of Goldwings. They look absolutely fantastic with this huge ovoid tip hanging out from underneath the bag, just peeking out, letting folks know that you don't have a stock exhaust in the bike. One of the other things that's real cool on the other end of this, you can see heat shield built right into this, gives that nice, smooth, one-piece appearance to this muffler. Significantly more attractive than a factory unit. Moving on down, you can see in both of these positions here, we have a set of twin slash slip-ons. Super traditional look. You got that baloney cut tip. Again, the twin slash being both the pipe and the heat shield, both cut on that bias, giving sort of an aggressive look to the end of the muffler, but again, keeping that traditional appearance I know a lot of riders are looking for, especially folks on Metro Cruisers. You can see down here we've got a set of the Vance and Hines Classics, and I think that's an apt name for these. Very classic look here. You can see we've got a pretty subtle understated tip at the back here, got some mild fluting in it, looks really good, and again, it's going to sound as good as it looks when it's actually mounted up to a motorcycle. Rounding things out, one of my personal favorite mufflers over here, you can see a Vance and Hines Competition Series muffler. These are a little something special. You can see this is obviously a black finish. This particular muffler goes on a Yamaha bolt. It's a perfect blend with the black exhaust that the Yamaha comes out of the factory with. One of the really cool parts about this is made of stainless. This is actually a fairly lightweight exhaust. When you jettison your factory setup and go with something like this made of stainless steel, a little bit more exotic material, you're actually going to unload a little bit of weight. So in a roundabout sort of way, you are helping the performance of your motorcycle. You'll notice here TIG welding in here. Construction's fantastic. And then on the end of this thing, it's got an end cap treatment I think is just really aggressive and racy looking. That triangular tip again, and also that nickel brush finish they use on the end cap itself really makes for a sweet looking exhaust if you're asking me. So a couple of you are probably considering one of these, but you're not really sure how the installation process is going to go. Let me talk you through it. It's really pretty simple. Just about all of you are going to wind up unbolting your factory muffler and simply bolting one of these in place of it. Vance and Hines includes instructions in the box. I would recommend having a factory service manual if you've never done an exhaust before. But to be quite frank with you, most of you guys should be able to do this in your own garage without any help at all. Very quickly, you should be on your bike, zipping around, listening to that new exhaust with a big old smile smile on your face. One of the other big advantages, I think, from an installation perspective with a slip-on is that you're not going to get stuck most of the time into that tuning trap that can come along with a full system exhaust. So if you're concerned about your bike and you maybe don't want to play the dynamometer operator, consider a slip-on exhaust, again, because in most cases you're not going to have to go back and do any tuning. I run Vance and Hines exhaust on a lot of my motorcycles. If it's not clear, I really do like these things. Don't take my word for it though. Click that info button, see what some other riders who are rocking a set of Vance and Hines slip-ons on their metric cruiser have to say about them. If you've got some questions, something I didn't cover, maybe a fitment or install snafu, get in touch with one of our gear geeks, 877-792-9455, or you can always drop us an email, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy, I'm out of here.